Hello everyone, thanks for checking out my video. Today I'm going to talk about the balance of self-love. And self-love, for me in my meditations, it's been a big recurring theme of this past year. And I have a feeling it's going to be the biggest and most important theme in your upcoming year. So I really want to talk a lot about how we can experience higher levels of self-love. And it's all about taking care of yourself. Now, we all know the basics. Yeah, you want to drink good water, you want to take long showers, you want to exercise and eat healthy. But there are some pitfalls that I've fallen into myself in this practice of self-love, and I want to help you avoid. So the biggest pitfall that I've seen in my past year is either the tendency to either overdo it or underdo it. And I have the tendency to go through both and really balance. You know, life is always a wave. We go up and down, but life is all about balance. So how can we balance out this wave, right? And so a good example of overdoing it is I can relate to my Ashtanga yoga community, and we really like to overdo it and push ourselves really, really, really hard. Sometimes there's injury that comes up. Sometimes other things happen. And so in this case, how can we be more compassionate to ourselves? It's pretty plain and easy to see is, well, back off a little bit. Give yourself a day of rest. Now, don't give yourself 2 weeks of rest, but it's totally okay to take a day off or take an easy day or a self-care day or a gentle yoga day if you're always really pushing yourself hard. And now on the opposite end of the spectrum, a good example in the yoga community would be my Kundalini friends. It happens a lot, because they talk a lot about self-love and about self-care. And then the pitfall of being overly compassionate to yourself is that they tend to not push themselves hard enough. They tend to, just not go too hard and always do an easy, gentle day and never do a day where pushing themselves hard enough. So the balance, the problem is, again, not overdoing it, it's not underdoing it, but it's finding that balance. Finding that point of, I'm not going to push myself too hard, but I'm going to push myself just hard enough. And how can you do this? What are the tools? What are the tricks? So there's two major tools that I've found to keep myself in good balance, in good harmony. And so those tools are, the first one is self-examination, is to check in with myself. How am I feeling today? Am I feeling tired? Am I feeling over-energetic? And how was my practice last week? Did I exercise a lot last week, or did I not do much? So really self-examination. And then what goes hand in hand with the self-examination is rigorous self-honesty. So it's really easy to say, oh, I didn't push myself hard enough, or oh, I pushed myself too hard. But really take a step back and again check in and see how you feel with that. Are you really being honest with yourself? And again, last year, I went through several highs and through several lows. And finally, when I was able to examine the patterns in my own actions and really get honest with my own stuff, that's when I got to a place of balance. And really, when I was in balance, that's when I could flourish and grow. It's really important to use compassionate self-talk to yourself. And again, when we're overdoing it, and also when we're underdoing it. An example, when I'm overdoing it, Jason, you've been really pushing yourself hard. It's okay to take an easy day. It's okay to go and hang out in the jacuzzi or take a spa day. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself. And again, on times when we're underdoing it, you go on a really long hike and you don't want to keep going, you want to quit and you want to give up and just turn back. A good example would be, I'm really sorry. And I know that you're tired, but you're just going to have to stick this through. So compassionate self-talk is huge. Another great way that's not so easy, but is a tremendous opportunity for you to grow, is by looking at your triggers. So the things that trigger us. And if we're compassionate and honest enough with ourselves to look at the root of that trigger, then we can really grow. Something very recently that's come into my life, a wisdom teaching that came from the universe to me, is the things that make me skeptical are a trigger. Now, there may be a great reason that this is making me skeptical. Maybe in the past I had a bad experience with something and I counted it off completely. Kundalini yoga may be one. For me, I had a bad experience with Kundalini yoga long ago, and so I discounted it that it wasn't for me, and I was always skeptical of this very energetic practice. But when I said, you know what, I am skeptical, but I'm going to take a deeper look into it, I realized where my trigger lied. And I let it go, and I realized, wow, I could really get a lot out of this practice, and I really love it, and it's so energetically powerful that it touched a place deep in my soul. So really, I encourage you to look at that skepticism. Look at that, what really makes you feel skeptical, and don't fall into a place of judgment. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You don't have to invalidate anyone else's experience. You recognize your own preference. Be honest enough with yourself to recognize the type of work that facilitates your own growth. And slowly but surely, you'll fall into balance and beautiful harmony and fall into this deep love within yourself. And even a better term of saying falling in love is you will rise in love. So thank you for tuning into this video. I wish you a beautiful year, 2018, full of success and love. Thank you.